Hello everyone, this is George from the TEL team, and in this video I'd like to go over the basic functions of Zoom. I'd imagine most of you are already familiar with Zoom, and this video is designed for our new colleagues and those of you who would like a refresher. There have been a few slight changes in the interface of Zoom over the past few months. So the first thing everyone should do after coming back from summer break is to check for an update. Okay, you can do that by clicking this symbol here, which is your initial, and scroll down to check for updates. Okay, now that your Zoom has been updated, let's jump into a meeting and take a look at the various controls that we have available. First of all, let's maximize the window. And let's take a look at the different buttons that we have at the bottom here. So obviously we have the audio and video controls. Here's where you can mute and unmute yourself, turn on and off your camera. Moving on to the security button, this is where we can allow participants or not allow participants to do certain things like share their screen or write in the chat. Going further, we have the participants button. We'll come back to that later. We have the chat, screen share, record. Obviously, if you would like to record the meeting, you would click here. Closed captioning, I don't think we'll use this very much. Breakout rooms is here. So remember, you must enable this on the Zoom website if you plan on using it during your classes. And within breakout rooms, you can either automatically assign the rooms or the participants to the particular rooms, or you can do it manually. And this is relatively new. You can let participants choose their own room. Okay. And finally, we have the reactions button here. So here, participants can click on various emojis, okay, that will show up next to their face. Probably the most useful feature here is the raise hand function. Okay, so again, the raised hand will appear here, and you should just remind your students that they should lower their hand once their question has been answered. Okay, now let's go back to these three buttons here. Participants, if we click on that, we will see a list of all of the people in the meeting. So these will be your students here. And from here, actually, you'll be able to assign, if you wish, a particular student as a co-host in the meeting. Okay, clicking on participants again will remove that tab. Clicking on chat, obviously, will bring up the chat here. Here you can regulate who you would like to send a message to. So either everyone in the meeting or a particular person. If there was more people here, I could send a text message to an individual participant. And in the middle here, we have this green screen share function. If we click on that, it'll bring up this menu asking us what it is that we would like to share. So we can either share the entire screen, meaning that all the participants in the meeting will be able to see everything that's happening on our computer, or we can choose to share individual files that are open at the moment on our desktop or websites, for example. And we also have the whiteboard function here. Okay, so if I choose to share my screen, and here I have the research project rubric, you'll notice that the controls of Zoom have moved up to the top of the screen. Okay, and here we'll have the ability to annotate the screen. So for example, if I would like to perhaps draw on my screen here, you'll find that option in the annotate button up here. Okay, when we want to stop sharing, we'll just click stop share up here. And just one thing to remember when sharing videos, it's necessary for you to select share sound here. Okay, this will allow your students to actually hear the sound of the video that you are sharing. And I'd also like to draw your attention to this little view button in the top right corner. Here is where you can choose between a speaker and gallery view. Speaker view basically maximizes the window or the video of the person speaking at the moment or at the time, whereas gallery view shows all of the participants in the meeting basically in equal-sized boxes. And just to finish up, I'd like to encourage you all to play around a little bit with the interface of Zoom, particularly with resizing different elements like the chat box and participants section. Okay, you'll notice that different buttons tend to move around as you play around with window sizes. For example, here. Also, if you go into full screen mode, you'll notice that the chat now becomes a little movable window, and the same thing with participants. Okay, so thank you all for your attention, and have a good day.